Hello, and welcome to another exciting edition of Hidden in the Universal Vault. I'm Ron, your host, and I'm welcoming you to my review of Hard Target from 1993. We're finally returning back to some Van Damme for this channel in this series. Now, I did 1 month and a couple weeks ago, I actually covered a film called Lionheart, and I thought that was just okay. And I said in that video that I'm sure Hard Targets is going to be a better movie, and you know what? I was totally right. This was a ton of fun. This was a great watch. So yeah, this movie is directed by the Hong Kong action director John Woo. This, I believe, is his first American film. He made the Korean film 1992's Hard Boiled with Chow Yun-fat. So this is his first American film, I do believe, the first movie to be made in America. And this movie is actually filmed in Louisiana as well. Let's talk about Hard Target, because this is a really fun film, and I'm going to go ahead and explain the plot as I usually do by reading the back of the DVD. The plot goes like this: the thrill of the hunt, it's the ultimate drug, and the more intense the rush, the higher the price. International superstar Jean-Claude Van Damme teams up with world-famous action director John Woo for this electrifying thriller that WGN Radio hails easily one of the year's best film. Van Damme is the target of an evil mercenary, Lance Henriksen, who recalls homeless combat veteran for the amusement of his clients. Bored tycoonist who will pay $500,000 to strike and kill the most challenging prey of them all, man. Lance, with dark humor and slam-packed with electrifying action, Hard Target is a must-see for action fans. That's really what the premise, but I'll kind of run it down. Van Damme plays a man named Chance, who is sort of like this guy. He starts out as just this normal person. He's like that. Then he gets into the action among actions, and now he's a hard target. Henriksen plays the main baddie. His right-hand man, played by Arnold Voudouras from the Mummy movies and the two Darkman direct-to-video films, plays his right-hand man. That's really what it is basically about. This movie also has Yancey Butler, who plays his, I want to say, friend that he meets. And then we also have Wilford Brimley, and also has Casey Lemon, the director, is in this movie. She plays another detective. So basically now, right at the beginning, we see a man being hunted down, which supposedly her father was a hard target, a victim, and basically they're hunting these people down. But gist of it, that's pretty much the gist of the movie. Wilford Brimley plays Chance's uncle, Van Damme's character in the movie, so he has sort of plot. Then he meets up with another guy who's similar to the character in this is played by, I forget his name, but he was also played Glover's friend in 1991's Grand Canyon. But he plays that sort of same character as Van Damme, who met in Lionheart. So it's sort of that, again, the pendulum swings. The pendulum swings. Van Damme plays the same character, but I think it works better in this. This movie, the reason why it's so good is it is just non-stop action from start to finish. It is extremely cheesy. The acting goes over the top. They jump the shark. Slow motion, well, still frame shots. I shouldn't say slow motion, but there's some still frame shots in the movie. Lance Henriksen just chews the scenery up, and like the time he's just like non-stop. He's bitching, he's complaining that they're not getting Van Damme, Also, yeah, as you can see, I kind of did I cut my finger right here a little bit. I don't know if you can see it, so I do apologize again. I just kind of want to show it off. I don't know why. But, so basically, if I do that, I do apologize. But, whatever. Just, basically, it's hammy acting 101. And they totally, what makes this so completely cheesy, at times the action is so good. Right off the beginning, we get Chance, who meets the woman. Then this woman gets beat up by a bunch of these thugs. So now Chance is like fighting these guys, and all of a sudden he went to the Chuck Norris School of Roundhouse Kicks. Like, he'll just roundhouse kick a guy, and he'll just literally just roundhouse. It is just so fun. Also the reason why this is just, it goes, they jump the shark. Basically, there's one scene where he's riding a motorcycle and like, he'll like jump over flames. It's like, come on. I mean, you just leave your brain in suspense and disbelief. Yeah, I know movies are escapists, and I look at a film. Normally when a movie jumps a shark, you know it's bad. But it's almost like watching a modern day Marvel movie. Why? It's like, it's just, I love Hard Target, just the cheesiness. Like, I will say a couple of complaints is the freeze frame. There's one scene that's freeze frame. I thought my disc was glitched, but there's one freeze frame where they just keep it still in shot. And then basically, so his friend gets hunted down by Hendrickson and his goons. I forget Hendrickson's character's name, but he'll get hunted by his goons, and all of a sudden they'll like pause, and then basically he gets killed. For some reason they do this frame shot where they stop, and then they kill the guy. Then they torture the one guy, making him talk. Then he's in the car, and he gets blasted by Arnold Voudros, who's the Hendrickson's right-hand man. So he gets shot. And the scene I forgot to mention, he rides a motorcycle, and then he just jumps over the fire. Literally jumps over the fire. Almost landing on his feet, and it's extremely hysterical. This feels more like an action comedy. I'm like sitting there, I'm like, just laughing so hard. The movie doesn't take it serious. And I think that's what also makes John Woo movies just so much fun. This director, in my opinion, is just a ton of fun to watch. I have another John Woo movie in the collection, but that was built by DreamWorks, and I will cover that on the channel. Don't know if I have it, but I will double check. And that's a movie called Paycheck with Ben Affleck. I will cover that one on the channel if I do find a copy. I do have it, I just don't know where it is. But I thought this is perfect, check out. But another problem is, there's also times, Wilford Brimley appears, as said, he plays the uncle. This is before he become the spokesman for Liberty Medical Insurance. He'd be the guy who would be the pitchman for Liberty Medical Insurance. So he plays Chance's uncle, but he uses a bow and arrow, and literally at times you think he would have got Hendrix's character, but misses it by a hair, and it's like, he'll like do that and misses it. So they go back on horseback. So Brimley gives Chance a weapon. Says, I have a weapon for you, my friend. And then he'll give him that, and then they'll blow out the dust and use it. Another scene is, near the end of the movie, like, they'll do these, like, weird flips. Like, Brimley shoots an arrow at a bunch of explosives. Literally misses Hendrickson. Then it hits the explosion, blowing up the thing, and then all of his goons, his hired hands, his goons are blown into, are like lit on fire. Then we get to near the end, and it feels like an amusement park, because this was filmed in New Orleans, Louisiana, so The final climax inside Abandon is all like carnival equipment. Though there's a scene where they show the head of the clown, and it almost reminds me a little bit of the clown in Happy Gilmore. Doesn't look like it, but it kind of reminds me of it. I'm sitting there like, you think they would have killed Hendrickson, but no. His coat gets on fire, and all of a sudden he's like, ah! He's like doing these weird sounds, and then he's like, what the heck? And then he knocks one of his goons down and tells Arnold Vuros, I forget his character's name, but he tells him to go after him. So now he's a hard target, and it's just non-stop wall-to-wall action. I think I mentioned most of everything in this, and I could explain how it ends, but it's just, I had a fun time with Hard Target. I feel like this movie is just, you don't take yourself serious. You just leave your brain, take your brain out, put your brain in the corner, and just enjoy a good popcorn action flick. And that's what makes Hard Target just a blast from start to finish. After watching this has become my new favorite Van Damme movie. I liked Lionheart, but this is a much better movie than Lionheart. I think it also came out in 1993, and I feel like that's just my favorite year of the 90s is 93 to 99. I didn't like 92 just because it didn't have that much good movies. I looked at all the movies that came out in 92, and compared to the movies in 93, it was just a much better improvement. But yeah, like I said again, the climax is so good, and then the movie has a ton. This is a very violent movie, so it might make some people squeamish. Like when he shoots the guy with a shotgun, I'm like sitting there like, I'm like that. I'm like, wow. That is just, wow. This movie is just so good. Oh, I forgot to mention before I do mention, this movie is actually produced by Sam Raimi. And interesting enough, Ted Raimi appears as the man with the coat. As a matter of fact, I didn't even know this when I popped in the movie. I didn't know that Sam Raimi produced this movie. I was like, Sam Raimi produced it? And then I saw Ted Raimi in the movie. He plays the guy in the coat that the guy's trying to get some help. He's like, help me, help me, help me. This is before we get to the still frame scene. Help me, can you please help me? He's like, no, get off me. Nobody wants to help him. Now he's being hunted and fearing for his life until Hendrickson's character basically kills him. That's not a spoiler. That's the outcome. The ending is kind of a been there by the numbers book. I do like the tagline on the DVD. It says, don't hunt what you can kill, what you can't kill. I think that sums about this movie. So I think I already mentioned everything about this movie. But yeah, I'm going to tell you right now, Hard Target is a highly recommended film. I loved everything about Hard Target. I believe this movie is fun. This was another movie where I kind of went back and forth when I was going to rate the film. Yeah, I was going to rate the movie, but I figured this way, if you've not seen Hard Target, definitely check this movie out. It is a ton of fun. It's a blast. I had a great time with this movie. There is a sequel to this, Hard Target 2, with Scott Adkins. I don't own that, but if I do find a copy of that movie, the sequel, I will cover it for the channel, because I feel like I really want to see if the sequel's any better. I doubt it, but none will ever top off the original, and the original is just great. This movie, I'm going to give you a hint right now, this movie is going to make it on the year's best list for this year at the end of the year. So I might put this on my best list, but you'll have to wait. Like I said, you're going to have to wait a couple more months down the road before I go ahead and make a decision whether this is going to be on the list. But I'm going to tell you right now, that is a hint. This is probably going to be on the list somewhere. So yeah, I'm going to probably, let me go ahead and take a look real quick when I did get Hard Target. Yeah, okay. I'm not going to wait that long. So yeah, let's go ahead and rate this right now before the video takes way too long. Sorry I'm hesitating, guys, with what I'm going to, with my reviews. So let's go ahead and rate this right now. I'm going to give Hard Target a 4 out of 5. This was a really hard decision. No pun intended, but it was a hard decision, no pun intended, to decide what I'm going to rate the movie. But I thought a 4 out of 5 seemed like it was a perfect choice to rate this. So yeah, 4 out of 5 is actually the right rating. So yeah, like I said again, if you haven't seen Hard Target, check the movie out. Definitely a ton of fun. If you are a Van Damme film, you gotta at least see this once. You gotta at least see it once for the goofiness, the cheesiness, the overtopness, the jumping, the sharkness that this movie has. This movie, right when it showed Van Damme riding the motorcycle like a surfboard and jumping over and almost landing on his feet, that's when you know it jumped the shark. The final climax feels like it's a sitcom. It feels like I'm watching an action comedy in the vein of like Lethal Weapon and all those buddy cop movies. It feels like that type of movie. But when you have just cheesy acting, tons of action in the film, and a movie that doesn't take it serious by having the character jump the shark every time, you know you got yourself a ton of fun. This movie, like I said before, is going to be on the best list. So, yeah. Check out Hard Target. Fun movie, a great movie. So that's my review of Hard Target. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you do like the content of the channel, like, comment, subscribe, click the bell, ring the bell to get all my video notifications so you do not miss a single video on the channel. I post stuff like my Universal reviews and my Vlog City series. So go ahead and check out the channel. And I'm on Letterboxd, guys. You can check me out there as well. Like I said, I rate the movies before I review them. So yeah, like I said, just check me out on Letterboxd. Tons of content on my channel. So yeah, like, comment, subscribe, click the bell, ring the bell, get all my video notifications so you don't miss a single video, like Hit UV and the Vlog City videos that I post up on the channel. But yeah, like I said, check out Hard Target. Really, really good movie. So yeah, and that's it. And as always, keep watching those Universal movies, and I'll catch you guys next time. Bye.